Hi guys, I hope you guys are having an amazing day. In today's video, I will be giving you guys some more tips about bunny bonding, and I'll also be talking about my final thoughts about the whole bunny bonding process. Make sure you stay tuned to the end of this video where I'll be giving you a week 4 and week 5 bunny bonding update. So let's get into it. So there's just a couple more things that I want to address that I did not address in the other videos in this series. And if you haven't watched the rest of this series, make sure you go ahead and check it out. I will link the first video up in the iCards above. And yeah, so let's start with my first tip. As you will see in my first couple of videos, you will notice that I am wearing an oven mitt when I am bonding my bunnies. When you are doing your first couple dates and there's any chance of there being aggression, you want to make sure you have like an oven mitt on your hand, or a shoe, or maybe a dustpan, so that way you can break up the fights without causing yourself any injury. Now, if your bunnies aren't progressing and they just seem to be in a rut and they're just not advancing in the bunny bonding process, there's a couple of things you can try, kind of mix it up, and hopefully you can then progress with your bunny bonding. So one thing you can try, which I tried with Cocoa Puff and Lollipop, is taking banana and smashing it and putting it on the bunny's head. If you smash banana on the bunny's head, the other bunny is going to want to eat the banana, and the bunny with the banana on the head is going to think the other bunny is grooming them. It's kind of a way to trick the bunnies and trying to get them comfortable with grooming each other. Another thing you can do is you can change the size of your neutral bunny bonding space, or just completely use a different neutral space. And another way that you can kind of mix things up is you can hand feed them together. Now, if you notice that one bunny is being way more aggressive than the other bunny, you can introduce a surrogate. So this would be like a stuffed animal. You'd put it in the non-aggressive bunny's pen for a couple days, and then that scent will then be on that stuffed animal, and then you put it in the aggressive rabbit's enclosure. That bunny will then be able to be aggressive towards the other bunny because that stuffed animal has their scent, but it's not going to harm the other bunny in any way. And eventually that bunny should be able to accept that other bunny is not going to be harming them, and that there's really no reason to have any aggression. And once you see that the bunny stops having aggression towards the surrogate, you can then continue with the bonding process. Now, if you've tried all these things and you are still struggling to get them bonded, it doesn't seem like you're progressing at all, nothing you do seems to help, you can try stress bonding. I personally don't like stress bonding because it causes stress to your bunny, but sometimes this is the only alternative to try to bond your rabbits. So stress bonding is just like having a regular bunny date, except you are putting your bunnies in a stressful environment. So that can be just having them in the pen and vacuuming around it. Some people will put the bunnies in a carrier or a basket and put them on top of the running washer or dryer. You could take your bunnies in a carrier on a car ride. Also, some people will just put them in a basket and carry them around, maybe kind of shake it. And the reason why stress bonding works is the bunnies will start to lean on each other, be comfortable with each other, and start relying on the other bunny. Now, once you are advancing with the stress bonding, you want to again keep the date short. And as soon as your bunnies can start to not be aggressive in a neutral territory, you want to go ahead and go with the conventional way of bonding your bunnies. So those are just the last couple of tips that I wanted to include within this series. And if you still have further questions, make sure you just comment them down below and I will respond to them to the best of my ability. So throughout my bonding process, I definitely learned that it takes a lot of patience and that you really need to make sure you have time for the bunny dates. Definitely when they start getting longer, like 2 hours, 3 hours, you really need to make sure you have the time to watch them and be diligent within the bonding process. And also feel free to ask questions. Anyone who has bonded bunnies, I'm sure will be happy to answer any of your questions. Luckily, I had a very successful bonding process. The first couple days are rough, and then it just proceeded and rode smoothly. I took everything super slow in the beginning, and I really think that benefited my bonding process. So make sure you're not rushing and just take things slow. And again, just reach out to others for advice, watch the rest of this series, and just take your time. Every bunny's different, every pair is different, and I hope you guys have a great time bonding your rabbits. Now let's get on to my week 4 and week 5 bunny bonding update. So on days 22, 23, 24, and 25, I was on vacation and did not host any bunny dates. Starting on day 26, I put them in their neutral space at about 6 o'clock p.m. and then I left them in their space for about 7 days straight. They seemed to really enjoy their company, and I felt free to trust them alone together in their neutral space. They were doing a lot of flopping and cuddling, and they were eating together, and I was monitoring them when I was home, and I never saw any signs of aggression. So I was almost positive that by day 32, they were completely bonded. On day 33, I introduced them into their enclosure together, and they were acting the same exact way as they were in their neutral space. I monitored them for about an hour straight on day 33, and just from seeing their behaviors, I was able to trust them completely in their enclosure by themselves. They are happily living together, and they are officially a bonded pair. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you haven't seen the rest of my series, make sure you go ahead and check it out. And if you haven't already, please subscribe if you want to see more bunny videos, and also feel free to leave this video a like if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. And remember, live life to the fullest!